Should you date a woman who has a high body count?
Yeah, she's a slut.
First of all, I do not like the vocabulary body count. This is not a killing. This is an intimate experience.
So when we made love last night,
When we what?
Now, the simplistic answer is no, don't date a woman who has a lot of sexual partners, because it means that she will cheat on you, she will be toxic, she will manipulate you in the relationship, she will maybe break up because she wants to be with another man, and then you will be heartbroken, she will take half of your assets, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. So yeah, in that way, you don't want to date a woman who has a lot of sexual partners, because that can happen, definitely, and it has happened in the past. Now, if we look at it like this, it's a very simplistic perspective, because the reality is a little different. I'm not saying that you should date a woman who has a lot of sexual partners, but it's a bit more complex than this, right? The reason why I'm sharing this is because I had an experience myself that really opened my eyes. It was 3 years ago, and at the time I was living in Colombia. I was a digital nomad, and I met a woman on Tinder, a very beautiful Colombian woman. You know how they are, incredible. And she was, tattooed all over the body. And I know some of you will say, but she's toxic. And when we started to speak, she told me very quickly that she had 50 plus sexual partners. And when she said that, I smiled, a little bit surprised, but at the same time I was chill about it, because I have more sexual partners than this. That helps, definitely. If you're a man who has less than 50 plus, yeah, maybe you will feel insecure. That's totally normal to feel this way, because you feel a little bit inferior, right? She has more experience than you.
She's nuts.
The relationship we had with this Colombian woman was absolutely beautiful. She was very honest, very open, very loving. And if it wasn't for me, we would still be in a relationship, because she was deeply in love with me, and really it was going so well. But at the time, like I said, I was a digital nomad. So very avoidant. I didn't want to commit to any woman at the time. So I was breaking hearts left and right. And I did break her heart when I left Colombia, right? But this experience taught me something very new. And her life experience was really powerful to me, because what she shared to me was very interesting, to say the least. Before we met, yes, she had a lot of sexual partners, but after that, she decided to be celibate. She decided to clean her internal world in such a way that she has no more bullshit, right? No more toxic patterns, no more subconscious blocks, no more desire to be with multiple men and stuff like that. And that's why I experienced this very healthy relationship with her. Now, does it mean that all the women who have a lot of sexual experience are like this? I don't think so. I think this Colombian woman that I met is a bit of an anomaly, right? It's very rare to meet someone like this. So take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, do not judge a woman for having a lot of sexual experience, because you don't know who she is. Maybe she went through the celibacy. Maybe she did the internal work. Maybe she cleaned up all the bullshit that she has accumulated from the past. You don't know. And because you're feeling insecure, you start to judge her. How easy it is to judge someone, right? I don't want to come from a place of judgment. I don't want to come from a place of insecurity. I don't want to come from a place of fear, shadow, trauma. I want to come from a place of love, acceptance, and confidence, certainty, centeredness, all of that. So whenever you're judging someone, I want you to know that there is something underneath this judgment. The judgment is protecting you in some ways. If you've watched some of my videos in the past, you know I keep on talking about this, right? It's important to do the internal work, because then you can understand your own patterns, and judgment is a pattern. Now, there's two things that I want to add to this subject. First of all, I want to talk about karma. Now, you probably don't know what karma means. Karma is action. So whatever you believe to be true about karma is probably bullshit. Because karma is simply this. You perform an action, you perform the same action, you perform the same action, and then you start developing a tendency to perform this very action. So if we take the example of a woman having a lot of sexual partners, well, she did perform the action of having sex with different men multiple times. So that means that she has developed the tendency to have sex with different men. Do you want to date a woman who has the tendency to have sex with different men? No, of course not. That's why it is very important that you ask her if she went through a celibacy period in her life. This is what happened with this Colombian woman. If she wouldn't have went through this period, she would be very different. So you want to pay attention to that when you speak to a woman who has a lot of sexual experience. That's a very important thing. Second thing, and this, if you feel disgusted by what I'm going to share with you here, I totally understand. And if you don't want to date women who have a lot of sexual partners after hearing this, I totally understand as well. Totally understand. But it's the reality, okay? When you have sex with someone, you merge with that person physically, but not just that. Emotionally, mentally, energetically. And it's happening whether you want it or not. It's happening. So when a woman has multiple sexual partners, she's literally taking all the bullshit from this man and she's accumulating the dirt, the energetic dirt, the mental dirt, the emotional dirt from every single man that she had sex with. By the way, this is also true for men.
You are a dirty, dirty boy, Eric.
It is very important that you ask this woman that have a lot of sexual experience if she ever done any form of therapy, internal work, or stuff like that. Because if she hasn't, she still has this stuff inside of her. And then when you have sex with her, she's going to share it with you because you guys are merging together, right? That's why, 3 years ago, when I decided to be celibate, I realized all the dirt that I have accumulated all these years, being promiscuous, being the pickup guy and all this shit. I don't regret it. I would do it again back then. But would I do it again now? No, definitely not. Not happening again. I'm very happy to be in a relationship with my girlfriend right now. We've been together for almost 2 years. And if I would ever be single, I'm not planning to, but if I would ever be single, I'm not going back to having multiple sexual partners and all of that shit. Because I know the consequence of doing that, right? So with this in mind, should you date a woman who has multiple sexual partners in her life? Well, as you can see, it really depends. Yeah. In most cases, it's probably a big risk and a lot of consequences for you. Yeah. And if it doesn't feel right for you, even after hearing this video, all good, my man. I'm not judging here. I just want to open your mind a little bit for you to see different angles on how to look at this subject, right? Because looking at something very simplistically is not going to help you in life. You're going to grow a lot more when you become multiple perspective. I don't know how to say that in English. Sorry, I'm French, okay? But I think you understand what I mean. The more perspective you have about one subject, the wiser you become. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to have a course completely free of charge, teaching you how to attract one date opportunity every week with your ideal woman so that you can potentially have a long-term relationship after that, you can click on the link down below. It's totally free of charge and it teaches you the whole framework to meet and attract a woman that is actually your type. I see you, my brother.